So let's talk about getting to 10% body fat. And if this is your first time getting that lean, if you are now in that 20 to 25% body fat range and you want to get ready for that journey, there are a lot of things that are unexpected and unusual that will happen. So I want to make sure you're mentally ready for that. Because the first time I went to 10% body fat was about 8 years ago. And since then, I've stayed in that 10 to 15% body fat range myself. I've helped hundreds of others get that lean as a coach. So I want to make sure you can learn from my experience. You don't have to make all the mistakes, and you can actually get the right expectations. You can learn what it takes, what's the reality of the situation, so you can ultimately set yourself up for success and reach this amazing goal. So the first unusual experience that you're gonna have as you get closer to 10% body fat is that the leaner you get, the bigger you look. And you know that you're losing weight. You can see the scale, the waist is getting smaller, clothes are feeling looser, but still you're getting comments from people asking, have you been building muscle? Have you been gaining weight? And I actually ended up looking bigger at 165 to 170 than I was at 185 because the vascularity, muscles getting a certain shape as you remove all the body fat, look ripped, they stand out more. It really creates an illusion of size, especially when you're looking at shirtless photos. It's really hard to tell where you're actually at in terms of body weight, and it just kind of looks like you've just undergone a massive transformation, putting on a ton of size, losing a lot of body fat. It also just tells you that most people really can't judge where you're at in your journey, and most people don't even know that you can control your body composition, losing body fat and gaining muscle. So you don't want to put too much weight into other people's opinions. Now, this also assumes that you have a decent amount of muscle to begin with as you're starting your journey. Otherwise, you will actually end up looking skinny. And the third factor here is that most natural lifters don't actually look that big in a shirt. If you just see them in a shirt while they're lean, while they're in that 10 to 12% body fat range, you probably wouldn't be able to tell if the person lifts or not. But if they take off their shirt, now if they gain a pump, if they're under good lighting, they take a nice picture, suddenly they look huge. And this is one of the things you also want to keep in mind, so you have the right expectations when you're going there yourself, to understand not to compare yourself and think that you're supposed to be jacked, huge, big, and all these other things at the same time, which naturally is simply not going to happen. So the journey itself is really interesting from that perspective as well, because most of what physique really is creating an appearance. It's not necessarily that you look exactly like that every single day, which I think is a huge lesson for most people. Now, the second thing that really is important when you're getting to 10% body fat, important to know, is that your appearance can actually change almost on a daily basis. Like some days you feel like you've just gained a lot of body fat, you look a lot flatter, and you look like you lose your definition suddenly. But then other days you just wake up, you feel like you've lost 3-4% of your body fat. You look absolutely shredded. And of course, those are the days when you take a lot of pictures. Those are the days when you show off your physique. But physique appearance can change so dramatically day to day. And most people don't understand that these fluctuations are normal. This is a part of the journey. You don't want to get thrown off by these little things and occurrences that happen instantly. The real deal is monitoring the trend, and over a longer period of time, of course, your body will look better and better. But of course, it will really be something that you wake up one day and you see that you're looking a lot flatter, and you wonder, am I lost a ton of muscle? Like, what's going on here? Am I on the wrong path? You suddenly start tinkering with the program because you think something is wrong. This is just a natural occurrence because we can't control all the variables. And this is something to expect. This is something to know about, so you don't get thrown off and end up self-sabotaging your own progress. Now, the third thing you need to know about is that to get 10% body fat would really help you if you go over to right now, smash that like button as hard as you can. I heard rumors that it makes you leaner the harder you smash the like button, so please go ahead and do that. It means a ton to me, helps a ton with the algorithm. Now, moving on to the third thing that you really need to know about this is that the 10% body fat journey really is a reality check, because most guys actually underestimate how much body fat they have and they overestimate how much muscle they have. When you get lean to 10% body fat, you will really be able to tell very clearly what is the reality of the situation. And if you've been staying around 20% body fat for a very long time and making a lot of progress, you might not even notice what's going on. So my recommendation is actually to get lean, let's say once every 2 years or so. You want to get down to 10% body fat, really clean up and see. Maybe you've gained some muscle in your rear delts, maybe in your traps, maybe your legs look bigger and more defined. So all these cool things that are happening that you might be missing out on, you want to know. And so the reality check of getting lean is something that's really awesome and just keeps you on track, keeps you even more motivated, because it finally gets to reveal all the muscle you built over the years. Because as a natural lifter, you want to be spending the majority of your time gaining muscle anyway, but from time to time, it's really awesome to get that photo shoot, get lean, really see where you stand. Now, the fourth thing that's unusual that actually throws a lot of people off course as they're getting to 10% body fat, especially in that range of 15% down to 10%, are these strong waves of hunger that happen sometimes. And they're mostly unpredictable. You can't really tell when it's going to occur, but the hunger is real. It's very hard days, hard weeks. And what happens, a lot of people think that this is going to be how it goes from now on. They get the strong wave of hunger, they have a really tough week, they get really discouraged. They think, well, this is impossible. I can't really do this. It's not for me. They even self-sabotage sometimes they give up. But you really have to have a good set of tools in your toolbox for dealing with this, because that wave can pass and your diet might not change much. The wave of hunger comes and goes, and you're sometimes hungrier, sometimes less hungry. That's just the way it is. And when that happens, to me personally, I have a big appetite. So hunger management for me is critical. So as I'm getting close to 10% body fat, I want to make sure that I always double down on food volume, low calorie density foods, lots of protein, lots more water, sleeping a ton. Staying busy throughout the day is really critical for me, because if I'm not busy, I'm thinking about food and really creates a lot of cravings. And then overall, I want to make sure that I keep the goal in mind, because this is a temporary phase. Yes, it's hard, very difficult, but it's temporary. Yes, you're going to struggle, but then you're going to get that reward at the end. And knowing that it's temporary really gives you that motivation to plow through, get the job done, and then you're going to switch to maintenance. It's going to get easier. And I think most people really underestimate the difficulty of the goal, because most people don't talk about it out there. Nobody's saying how hard this really is, but it is really, really tough, especially if you're doing this for the first time. You're going to know so much about your own body, and it's going to be a massive challenge. It might be one of the hardest things you're ever going to do in your life. And that's just the reality. For most people, getting 10% body fat is going to be a very, very difficult journey. But knowing that, there's also a lot of personal satisfaction that you can get from reaching a goal like that. And the first time is the hardest. That's just the reality of these things as well. So as you approach this, I hope this video gave you some really good expectations. I would highly recommend as well to subscribe below to learn more about this whole process. Make sure to hit the bell to enable notifications as well. Details for coaching, if you want my guidance to get 10% body fat, link is in the description below. Check that out. I'm going to leave a video here at the end as well that I want you to check out as well about this journey, and I'll see you in that next video.